With me now is Manuel Oliver, who lost his son Joaquin at the Parkland, Florida high school shooting. He's also the co-founder of Change the Ref. Good morning. So glad that you could be with us. First of all, how are you doing? What happened in Texas must be bringing back a lot, must be triggering for you.
Thank you for having me in your show. It does brings memories and refresh what happened almost 5 years ago. But it also empowers us as activists. At this point, we this is way beyond my son. Um, we need to do more. We are willing to do more. I have to tell you that after my son was shot 4 times with an AR-15, more than 220,000 people have been shot in America. The gun industry is taking a lead, and it's actually hurting a lot of people in our country.
220,000 people.
That is correct. We lose 45,000 people per year, and that includes suicides, which is very sad. The gun lobby, they don't like to include people that kill themselves, but that is as violent as any other way of using a gun. It always goes back to the common element that we have, which is the gun itself.
The gun itself. What do you say to parents now who are going through what you've gone through? What is your message to them? As you say, years later, you've reshaped your life, but what does that look like?
It's there's nothing that I can say that will make them feel better. When I go back to February 14th, I was totally lost. I had a lot of support from my family and immediate friends and part of the community. But you really don't know where you are. You really don't know what's going on. You have to, for 1 second, imagine that the person that you love most in the world, the person that you will dedicate the rest of your life in terms of protection and support, it's suddenly ripped out of your life. So there is no way to understand that. There is no way to justify that. With time, you will probably, if you're lucky enough, learn how to live with it. I like to carry my pain because it's the number one motive for me to do the things that I do as an activist. So, but that is a very personal decision, and it's going to take some time to for them to find their own path.
Are you optimistic that change will come when it comes to gun laws?
I am. However, I have a different way of being optimistic. I think that change will come in a long term. I think that we need to call these out as a war that is happening in our country. No one does that because it will be recognizing publicly to the rest of the world that we failed. And as Americans, we are very arrogant, and we will never do that. However, I will, and I don't have a problem by saying that we don't know how to fix this, or we don't want to fix this. And that's what you do when you're in the middle of a war and 45,000 people are dying, and there's a system that is providing these weapons. Then you need to go and ask for help to the international community. The same way that we put sanctions on people that are killing others in Ukraine, in Afghanistan, we need to put sanctions on any corporate CEO, organization, or political figure that is actually part of these massacres that happen every single day. So I do have faith that things will change as long as we address them in a different way. And that is the plan. And that has always been my plan. But we keep trying and trying and trying. So I think the next step is to ask you guys to get involved and support us here, because they are killing us day after day.
Manuel, could you tell us a little bit about your son?
Oh, absolutely. Joaquin, he loved playing basketball. He was a total activist already. Joaquin was protecting civil rights. He was a guy that will always be on the side of the weak and protect that person. He loved music like crazy, sports, athletic, nothing like me in terms of um, absolutely. Like I'm an artist. His mom is totally into music and stuff. Joaquin was like a perfect mix of what we do. We enjoyed him through those 17 years. And I want to tell you something, in case we're running out of time, that I'm sure we are. I will never change those 17 years for anything else. The day that I saw that baby on my arms, I convinced myself now I have a very important role in life, and that role is not over. I am Joaquin's dad until my last day in this life.
He's still giving you purpose. We showed his picture, Manuel. He's a very handsome young man. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Manuel Oliver is the co-founder of Change the Ref.